To the EGL Summoner Shield number 19 Grand Finals. We are in Game 2. It'll be the game between Team Synchronized on the blue side. We're up 1-0 in this series versus Burqa United. Down 0-1, hoping to make their win here to bring it to Game 3. My name is The Pash, and casting alongside me, as before, is going to be Elthazar. Or not. Hold on, may have some difficulties here. Well, apparently I'm, gonna be alone for some while. That's no problem. First band's coming out of here from Team Synchronized. They, stick with their bands, actually. Oh, hello. There you are. Greetings.
Guess what I did?
What did you do? You muted yourself.
My mic again.
Yeah. Good. Very good.
Go team.
Go team,
Anyway,
indeed.
yes.
So,
to no one's great surprise, Burqa United drops the Shen instantly. A massive presence last game with that finished build by the end of that last game. He actually didn't end up going for the static ship as I thought he might. He actually ended up just going for Atma's Impaler to make him even more tanky.
And Mikkel RP is hovering over the nightmare here. Will they go for it? I would love to see a Nocturne played. We have seen a couple of Nocturnes played before in GL tournaments, but it's always a spectacle because I gotta admit, Nocturne is one of my favorite champions in terms of style. I've never actually played him, but I love his concept because darkness.
Did you hear the theory that was jumping around that said
yes.
actually is Nocturne?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
thought that was a very interesting link between the two champions, and it was a fairly well-constructed argument as well.
It is going to be the Rabbits, not the Nocturne. I am sad about this, but I can't change it. Jinx picked up again for DWT. He was doing quite well on her in the last game. I think it wasn't the bottom lane that lost Burqa United the game last time. And Malphite immediately getting locked in here for Abe, and we have seen him play Abe. We have seen him play Malphite in previous EGL tournaments.
And Malph plays you.
Yeah. Soviet Russia, Malphite plays Abe. And Malphite has played Abe in Soviet Russia before in the Russian EGL Summoner Shield tournament. No, actually it was in a normal EGL tournament, and it was Abe playing Malphite. Moving on, Jarvan getting picked up for Keymix. Not going with the Zac this time. But still a champion that can just bolt through the front line directly into the back line.
Thing is, with the Jarvan Malphite combo, that is very, very strong engagement. And we also see the Thresh, so that's basically an engage comp off the bat. Keymix, Fly and Drag into Cataclysm, very strong engagement. If Abe can land a good unstoppable force before that happens, then that's 3 or 4 people locked up for a very long period of time. You see, of course, the Leona picked up as well, Leona and Thresh. I think that's almost 100% pick and ban for those two champions throughout this tournament. They have been played a hell of a lot throughout these games. We see Ost jumping between a couple of champions, but I'm doubtful as to the Evelynn. Evelynn, I would say, is a far stronger jungler than she is mid. She was played mid back in Season 2, but that's maybe not quite so likely. And of course...
Hey Oz, why don't you hover over Teemo? Because we'll totally believe that you'll pick Teemo.
Nick Trundle? Is he trolling?
Zillion! Is it going to be the Zillion, ladies and gentlemen? Is it going to be the Urgot? Oh, the tension is high here in this champion select. Oh, Darius being hovered over. Caitlyn, what will it be, ladies and gentlemen, for this middle lane? The picking intensifies, and it does end at Ziggs.
It's bombing time. That's a very, very strong poke mid laner. Bouncing bombs, great poke. Explosive minefield, very good soft crowd control. It's basically saying, try and run through this area, I dare you. Satchel Charge, a very skill-based escape, but can be incredibly good. And of course, Mega Inferno Bomb, great long-range nuke. and can be used for stealing Barons and Dragons. So we're going to see the battle of the Megas. Mega Inferno Bomb against Super Mega Death Rocket.
What a exciting fight. Bombs versus rockets, both with the modifier Mega in their name. We do see Burqa United hovering over Lysandra. They've already picked up the Renekton beforehand. That's going to be the last pick here. And just a completely unrelated question. What's your favorite Ziggs skin?
I do think Pool Party is very fun. I do like Pool Party.
Okay.
And of course...
And that takes care of that, and we can go back to Champion Select.
Hey!
Wonderful.
Imp picked up the Vayne again. Worth saying this. Imp picked up the Vayne again. He was very strong in it last game. And Sarkon on D1WT need to shut this down far better than they did last game. They did well early on, but then we saw Keemix put some attention to bottom lane, and he started racking up kills like nobody's business. He stacked up so well for the later game. Didn't pick up massive kills for himself, but didn't die very much either. I mean, he did get dived a couple of times by Johansson and get bursted, but that's kind of what Rengar's meant to do. In this game, it's a Renekton, good to get into a carry, but you can't melt someone as easily. You have to stay fairly near to a champion for a decent period of time to actually kill them, even with Dominus up.
Yeah, that's true. So, he's one tanky man, and it's not even a man, he's a crocodile, and he's going to go up against a very tanky boulder, I suppose. So it's going to be the battle of the tanks up in that top lane. The also exciting battle of the tanks. That's
Yep, I would say any jungler that tries to intervene will end up caught between a rock and a hard place. A hard place being a crocodile in this case.
Well, crocodile skin is a pretty hard place. Well, actually, it's pretty soft. They make handbags out of it, don't they? It looks spiky. Anyway.
Joel, what I'll say is try and skin Renekton. I really dare you to try that. I feel like you'd probably be dead before you even got near to trying. I consider that to be a hard place. It's like, oh, I need to skin... My wife wants a crocodile skin. Oh, stab.
Yeah. Off to the skinning table it is, Renekton. Anyway, as we...
Not really gonna work, is it?
As we submit our newest skin ideas to Riot Games, let's go over the team compositions. I'm having a conversation with Iron Stylus here in the background. So I'm telling him about everything, and he's gonna make it all a skin, and we're gonna be rich. Team Synchronized on the blue side.
Wonderful.
Team Synchronized on the blue side. Malphite in the top lane, followed by Bobo, Densei, Ape, Keemix playing Jarvan in the jungle. In the middle lane, it's gonna be Ost on Ziggs. And in the bottom lane, Mod and Imp on Thresh and Vayne.
Meanwhile, on the opposite side, trying to keep themselves in this best of 3 grand final, we have Burqa United. We have Johansson, the post side, playing in the top lane with that Renekton. Nickel RP sticking to a familiar champion with the Rammus once again. Post side Magnet once again playing the Lysandra. And we see yet another similar pick, the Jinx picked up by DWT, Sarkon changing up just a tad to jump towards that Leona.
Basically, the only change they made in their team composition is switching out the Blitzcrank for the Leona and the Rengar for Renekton, yes. Mid lane, still the same. Jungle, still the same. AD carry, still the same. More of the same coming from Burqa United. Team Synchronized, again going with the Vayne. Keemix not going with the Zax this time, going with the Jarvan. But as we've already talked about, both champions excel at just jumping straight through everything you throw in their face with the Flag and Drac or with the Dunk Cataclysm. Jarvan, you gotta watch out when he's around you. But other than that, is there anything that sticks out to you in those team compositions that you'd like to point out?
Besides the fact that if the AoE crowd control dies, then I think Burqa United might be in a lot of trouble if Ost gets rolling. They're not really now. The level 1 is rather limited, I would say. Yes, of course, you have the death sentence and such like, but it should be rather limited. I imagine a fairly tame start to this game.
Well, we're going to see as the game loads up, hopefully. It doesn't for me right now. Would be a shame if we didn't get to watch this one, but I remain positive.
Always remain positive.
Ah, there we go. Loading screen, ladies and gentlemen. EGL Summoner Shield number 19. Grand final. We are in the loading screen, and the two teams are going to be Team Synchronized, up 1-0 in this all-deciding series. Will they be able to pick up the win? Will they be able to crown themselves EGL Summoner Shield champions for 2 weeks when the next challenger arrives? Well, actually, no, they're going to be the champions for a while, because we're going to have a break, actually, after this tournament, I believe.
We have the Summoners Cup next weekend, then we have 2 weeks off till the end of January, and then we come back bright and breezy in February to deal forth the glorious casting.
Oh, yes, that's going to be so good. Well, yeah, whoever
Very good
wins
as well
this...
for Team Sync.
Yeah, whoever wins this final is going to be our champion for a long while. There's going to be a lot of prestige at stakes here.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Team Synchronized got a lot going for them right now. And the best they've done so far in an EGL tournament is, as far as I can tell, they came second in the Summoner Shield number 15. So that's over a month ago. They are back here, they are in the finals, and they are in a very commanding position right now. If they can carry this through, then they are going to be crowned champions, and that's going to be a very nice achievement for them.
There's going to be indeed. So, loading screen 100% has been reached for everyone. We will be getting into this game fairly shortly. The Pash, with me casting as Althazar, and here we go, hopefully very soon. Hopefully very soon.
We are into game now, actually. Apparently 30 seconds thereabouts. We see a little bit of posturing, but nothing too serious at this stage.
Well, I'm not in the game yet, so that's fun. Won't let me in.
It's more highly guarded than a Swiss prison.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, 56 seconds in, everyone slides into place. We're a bit late, but better late than never, as they run into each other, and here comes the fight! 5v5, level 1 fight, Mod going very low, Astro flash away, Ape gonna be the next target in the middle of Burqa United. They might pick themselves up many kills here, but Imp condemned Sarkon against the wall. They're now going aggressive onto Us, is going pretty low as well. Zap does land onto Mod. Will it be enough to the first blood? He does flash in, wanting to pick it up, but he gets hooked back in. He does manage to pick up the first blood, but the Ignite is ticking away onto him. They're still going aggressive onto Keymix. Pick that one up as well. Malphite in the meanwhile able to take down Jinx. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Burqa United right off the bat, before minions have even spawned.
Ost running for his life as well. That Yordle is not in a good place. Very low health. Johansson does actually walk straight past him to head to his top lane. Ost gonna back away with his life, but that was a very good level 1 engagement for Burqa United. See a 2-for-1 in their favour, and that's already 500 gold advantage. And this early in the game, that's going to be very nice, especially since one of those kills did go onto DWT, so they can start pushing this lane forward.
Yep, that's true. Vayne, having picked up an assist for herself, had to back away since she also did go quite low. But other than that, DWT picking up the... I think, yes, it was the first blood that Jinx picked up right there, so that's going to obviously help a little bit. It also burns the flash out of Mod, so that's won't be available for a while. Actually, all flashes are burned for Team Synchronized, except Imps. So that's some Vayne positioning right there.
Yep.
And here we go, the engages onto Imp. The zap does land, lots of damage coming up, but he still has flash, which is quickly burned. They're now going to turn the aggression onto Mod, deal some more damage onto him, using their level advantage this early on. Now only Team Synchronized bottom lane has hit level 2, and now only can they feasibly fight back.
Yeah, we do see Keymix just picking up his red buff though, so we could see a run towards his bottom lane fairly soon, especially if that Tribrush does not get warded.
Yeah. He is about to finish his buff, but he's a little bit low, I think, for a gank. It would be a pretty risky thing to go in against a Leona and a Jinx, who are able to lock you down for more than a second and deal loads of damage to you. So he does decide to stay there and go back.
Michael RP comes in on the top lane.
Yeah, the flash in from him.
To escape.
He's going to escape indeed. The flash was attempted from Rammus, but it was not quite enough. That's another flash burn, but no death up in that top lane. Nice use of that flash. Keeps him safe, keeps him alive.
Yep. Gold lead still set around a fairly insignificant amount. It's only 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
We will see far larger numbers.
Well, maybe,
Oh,
maybe not.
Maybe
this will be a very close game. In the middle lane, though, Posei Magnet having loads of trouble against us. He's gonna keep eating those bombs, taking damage, and he's forced to back away 4 minutes and 20 seconds in. Well, that's gonna become a little bit of laning advantage over to his laning opponent, of course. But here, yeah, we do see Kimmix come in. The lantern is right there. Will he be able to flag and drag himself in? Yes, he flags himself into DWT's path. Gets hooked back as well. One more silver bolts proc. And Bobo didn't say, and will pick up the kill. Nice gank coming out of Jarvan. Nice use of the Dark Passage to set it all up.
Definitely. DWT was less than 5 seconds away from his barrier coming up. I don't think it would have been relevant, but that might have potentially saved him had he gone for a slightly more conventional escape route.
In the middle lane, Michael RP going in onto us. He throws both of them away into the same direction, and this will probably be his death as Posei Magnet comes in as well with a Glacial Path. The Ignite is down. Will he be able to survive this one? Nicely dodges the skill shot. He actually goes aggressive onto Michael RP. The Ignite is down onto him as well. He manages to pick up the kill before Posei Magnet takes him down, and here comes Kimmix jumping in as well. Flag and drag is used. Posei Magnet getting slowed permanently by those red buff procs, but he's getting circled in here by Johannes the Posei and Posei Magnets.
You've only just realized the joke.
Yeah, I just realized the joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pash just got the joke. Anyway, meanwhile, Abe pushing out that top lane, gaining a not exactly significant farm advantage. It's only 6, but at this early stage of the game, any farm advantage is a good one, especially since you're fighting against a manaless champion. You are going to be forced back at some stage to replenish your mana. Meanwhile, Nectar can sit and farm all day long.
He can indeed. He's going to do so. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Battle of the Tanks. It's so important and so exciting that we're going to take a look at the bottom lane instead, where Michael RP maybe coming in here, clears out the ward from the Tri-Brush, then his blade lands onto Mod. Shielded Very Break immediately follows. There's the Flame Chompers trying to pull them back, but DWT actually gets hooked by the death sentence here. Thresh going in, not quite able to land the flay. I was just about to say lay the fland.
There was still a favourable trade coming out for Team Synchronized.
Mega Inferno Bomb! Mod, will he go down here? No, he will not. As this was actually his friendly Mega Inferno Bomb, but he does get the hook onto Sarchon. But what time? At a time where Michael RP is on his rolling way, another Zenith Blade lands. That will be Mod's death. Surely it will, as Jinx lands the final auto attack, and everyone just awkwardly keeps following Thresh until Jinx gets an opportunity to land the last hit. And another Zenith Blade in the bottom lane onto Imp. DWT immediately there, throwing out the zap. Doesn't quite land. And in the middle lane, Michael RP again going in onto us. Action all across the map. Managed to satchel himself over the wall. In the top lane, though, Abe goes down to Johansson. A very close dive attempt, but the Dominus kept Johansson alive. And that was a lot of action at once.
That seems to be what happens in these tournaments. No action and then 3 fights come along at once. This is why I do not envy you play-by-plays.
Oh. It's League of Legends. Get excited!
You are channeling the power of the Jinx. That's fine. That's fine. I've got that.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand.
Now please excuse me while I go outside and blow everything up.
Rules are made to be broken.
Yeah, not only rules, limbs too. Ha 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 ha.
Buildings and people.
People are made to be broken. Ooh, philosophical. The philosophy club of EGL. After our relatively successful history club, we decided to start our philosophy club as well. Today's the topic: Zenith Blades onto Mod. Is it a morally acceptable thing? No, it's not, and so the death sentence comes down onto DWT from Thresh. In the top lane, Johansson again getting aggressed upon here by Abe. Is that morally acceptable, Althazar?
I don't even know anymore. I've played League for too long. It's like honor is something you don't see in League. If you get an advantage, you push that advantage.
Mikkel RP getting aggressed upon here. Will he go down in honor? This is the question. He flashes away. Will survive, but still, he did it with honor.
9 minutes into the game, 5-3 currently the advantage in favour of the Burqa United team. We only see a 300 gold advantage at this point though, because we have seen some very impressive farming coming out from Ost once again. 20 CS advantage. Boss Magnet getting
flash in from Prose Magnet to try and get onto Bobo and the Austin in the middle lane. Mikkel RP is there as well. Taunt was used. Mega Inferno Bomb. He manages to actually take down Lissandra. Now he's going to aggressive onto Mikkel RP. He turns it around, makes it a double kill for himself. Now that was good.
Very nice satchel charge by Arst right there. Landed it perfectly and instantly followed up by the Mega Inferno Bomb. Absolutely nothing Boss Magnet could do about that as he fell. And Mikkel RP suffered the same fate very soon after.
Ooh, Solar Flare used onto Imp here in the bottom lane, but Senkon gets pulled in by Thresh into the turret, gets slowed down. He's ignited rather. And Vayne going aggressive here onto DWT. They're still going strong. Mod planning a couple of auto attacks. Sarchon has gone really low in that engagement.
DWT is still fairly healthy though, so they could turn around an engagement like this pretty quickly. Mod and Imp are just over half health each. Of course, Imp can regenerate a nice little bit of life with that Doran's Blade. Is currently sat on 2,500 gold though, so if he can stack up the gold, for example, the gold required to pick up a kill, or required from picking up a kill, then that would be very, very quickly generating up towards something like that Blade of the Ruin King, and something at 10 minutes into the game like that on a Vayne, that's very, very scary.
Darwin's decision to come to the bottom lane just now as Leona has backed away, so now the minions will clear. He's going to step right in there and he's just going to use the Lantern and flag him direct himself to Jinx, possibly even use the Cataclysm. There it is. DWT flashes out, tries to take down him. Both the AD carries have a little 1v1. DWT gets stunned against the turret, uses the barrier to survive. Here's Leona landing the Zenith Blade onto Imp. Imp still going strong. He will not be able to pick up DWT. In the meanwhile, Keemix has to run away from Mikkel RP as he comes in as well to help out. Nice death sentence keeps Leona away from Darwin. He places the Lantern as well, but he runs directly into Lissandra, and now he is in big, big trouble as the Solar Flare was used to try and slow down Keemix, but that's all it did. It slowed him down. It did not stun him. Not quite landed. Ost will now possibly try and take down Mikkel RP. Will he go for it? Posei Magnet in the vicinity will protect his jungler. And that's the end of it.
Yep, Mikkel RP very low, going to back out in that brush just off to the right hand side of the bottom inner turret. The turret's yet to be picked up in this early stage of the game. I'm actually quite surprised though, because the push potential of a Leona Jinx lane is very, very high. So, kudos going across to Modern Imp for that very good power. Ost once again doing a lot of damage to Posei Magnet. Nothing Sarkon can do right. He's just juking Zenith Blades with nice ease right there. Sarkon, all it can really do to defend his mid laner's turret.
Yep. He does that. Takes some poke from Ost. He's still there, still going strong. Has been farming quite a while. Sitting on the most farm of anyone in this game right now, as the Death Sentence does land on the Sarchon. He gets pulled in. Keemix is already also there. Ost using the satchel charge to knock him up, prevent him from going away. Posei Magnet comes in, uses some abilities to deal some damage, but it is not enough to get the kill.
Mikkel RP coming around the side. Ost could be in trouble, but there is a ward right there. So Mikkel RP actually heading towards the bottom lane.
He is. And Thresh and Vayne are pretty much all alone there, so this could be a very good opportunity. They place the ward. They don't quite know that Rammus is here yet, since the ward is not on the other side of the Tribrush, but Rammus will not decide to do anything and moves back into his jungle to pick up some wolves, I presume.
Yep, definitely there he goes. Meanwhile, on the top lane, very stale at early game for this top lane. Of course, we have seen Johansson pick up that kill from diving, but Abe also picked up that kill in that level 1 engagement, so they're fairly even across the board for CS advantage currently be held by Johansson, but that's only correlating to a 150 gold advantage for him, so fairly minimal. He is, of course, slightly more leveled than Abe, because Abe has been forced to back a couple of times.
No, that's true. So, 14 minutes in, laning phase is still going on, and Ziggs and Lysandra may have a little bit of a run in here as Posei Magnet goes aggressive, but Oz will just satchel charge himself away from any kind of danger in that engagement. So everyone moves back to their lanes, back to status quo. We know it from game 1, we've seen it quite a few times there.
Sarkon trying to get a bit of an engagement down onto him, but more than wise enough at this point. He knows Mod is trying to do good in the opposing jungle, and he and Chemix are actually going to go for a blue buff steal. You do see the bot lane for the Burqa United squad.
Oh, Sarkon gets condemned against the wall. He gets pulled in by Thresh as well. There's no way he's getting out of this one. Lands the Solar Flare. Nice stun, but there was nobody there to make anything out of it. So Syncronised picks themselves up another kill, and now it's starting off this Baron, and Posei Magnet is off to the side. Will he try to get in and try to steal this one, maybe? Kimix is going very long. Mega Inferno Bomb picks up the Dragon. That's the flash in from Mod onto Posei Magnet. Box is used as well. Oz throwing out bombs, trying to take him down, but he's now caught between Mikkel RP and DWT. The damage is just way too high. Mikkel RP takes him down. They're now onto Mikkel RP, though. One more Silver Bolt's proc, and he will go down. Now it's another 1v1 between the two AD carries as Posei Magnet comes back and manages to take down Thresh. The Cataclysm coming out of Kimix will be enough to take down Lysandra. Imp not quite managing to take down DWT, but it ends in a 2 for 2. But it's Team Syncronised who picks up the Dragon.
Yep, favourable engagement for Team Syncronised, holding now a 1,000 gold advantage, but Johansson in this top lane really pushing forward his advantage now. Farm not really showing the difference between them at this stage. There is definitely a very slight gold advantage, but it's very minimal at this stage. However, that advantage from pushing means that Abe cannot leave his lane. Cannot try and help with those unstoppable forces, and that means that his use is slightly compromised in this early stage of the game.
That is true indeed. Did not decide to go with a teleport, so he's going to have to, of course, fend off the minion waves that Renekton is going to unleash upon him. Good side is, though, since Renekton is also pretty much perma-pushing this top lane, he tends to be around there as well, so both those CS values are pretty even. Even though if Abe is down a level, but that's probably going to change once he gets back to lane. Top lane basically completely secluded from everything that's happening on the map. But that's going to change the longer the game goes on.
Definitely, we do see Abe having 194 armor at 16 minutes in the game. Very impressive, but not at all surprising on a Malphite, of course.
Lost wants this turret. He gets the turret.
Huzzah indeed. We see Johansson trying to deal damage to Abe now. He's done absolutely nothing. This rock is very, very tanky, and we see him doing quite significant damage as well. He did not use the unstoppable force, so he's going to force his opponent out of lane. Does have 2,700 gold, however, so that's a lot of items to be picked up as well at this point.
Yep, he's probably going to pick himself up a nice tanky item as well. Sarkon landing the Zenith Blade onto him, but gets condemned away immediately. But there they have him in a very tough spot. He condemns away Mikkel RP as well, but they're all onto him. He will go down, trying to deal as much damage as possible. Mega Inferno Bomb coming in, dealing a bit of damage. Mod, though, getting now aggressed upon by DWT, but here comes Kimix from the river, and Burqa United decides to back away. Probably the best move they could do right now. Mod and Kimix are going to put some pressure onto this bottom lane turret as Oz comes in from the mid lane. Will he be able to pick up the kill onto Leona? No, nicely flashed. But they will lose the bottom outer turret here, and that's going to be the second turret of the game over to Team Syncronised.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
That gives them great dragon control as well. Both the outer turrets in that area gone, so that also means that more gold can be farmed up more safely. And a bit of a death sentence to nowhere, but we may also see a blue steel in presence, as it should be respawning within the next minute or so.
Yeah. They could go for it very well, but it's not there right now, so I guess they're gonna not worry about it until it's back. There's really nothing else they can do. They could stick around in that jungle a little bit, maybe have a barbecue at the blue camp, but they could also back away and make something out of the advantage that they just picked up. A turret, of course, global gold is always very useful to pick up those items that you've always wanted, but that nobody bought you for Christmas.
Meanwhile, we see Johansson getting engaged on the top lane, force the flash already.
Flash out of Johansson, he activates the Dominus though and decides to go in, gets slowed by the Hextech Minefield here, gets knocked back by the Satchel Charge, but here comes Rammus. Mega Inferno Bomb is actually enough to take down Johansson as they pick up the kill. Rammus is a little bit too late, but here comes Posei Magnet, and now Abe and Oz are in a very dangerous position. Ooh, nice unstoppable force coming out of Abe, trying to stop Posei Magnet from doing anything, but he will pick up the double kill here, but here comes Keymix picking up Lysandra for himself. It's a 2-for-2 trade after Renekton went down in that top lane beforehand, obviously. You can see that happen. Keymix still going here onto Sarkhan, and incoming in here. Nice Cataclysm used. Will they be able to condemn anyone against it? That would be a pretty cool strategy to do with Vayne and Jarvan. Sarkhan is not gonna quite go down, but instead they pick up Mikkel RP. Now Imp goes in, condemns Archon against the wall, Sarkhan, and picks up the kill. No, actually Jarvan picks up the kill, but they do pick up the kill. 4-for-2 then, overall in favor of Syncronised in that top lane, and they will be taking down this top outer turret as well. That makes a full 3 outer turrets for Team Synchronized.
Definitely, and we will also see the gold lead advancing to now over 5,000 at 20 minutes. That's actually quite significant.
It is, yeah. Oh, the hook lands on the DWT in the bottom lane, but nobody's there to help him out. Vayne was just in the top lane, getting a few kills for herself. So, we saw it, Mod. We saw your death sentence, and it was very good. So praises be upon you.
Those about to be death sentenced, I salute you.
Oh!
Ooh, almost lots on Posei Magnet.
Flag on Dragon from Keymix trying to get onto Posei. Magnus going to use the Lantern to try and get back in, but Sarkhan and Mikkel RP are waiting off to the sides to prevent them from going in any further. And that means Team Synchronized will have to wait for the next wave to clear that out, and then maybe start a push on this middle inner turret, as 4 members of Synchronized have now assembled in the middle lane. Malphite's still hard at work at that top lane, looking at some split pushing guns, and the blade lands onto Oz. There's the Solar Flare, he's getting stunned. Frozen Tomb is used as well, but DWT having trouble repositioning himself. Mikkel RP in the middle of Team Synchronized, going very low. One more Solar Bolt's proc will not quite be enough, but he goes very, very low. In the meanwhile, Renekton catching out Oz, having some fun with his target right there, but he satchel charges himself over the wall. Super Mega Death Rocket is enough to take down Thresh. That's a kill over to Burqa United, as both teams disengage, not looking for anything more. Mega Inferno Bomb thrown out, trying to catch out Posei Magnet, but is not quite enough. Wow, 1 kill over to Burqa United. Those two teams, they aren't giving anything to each other for free.
No, and that was a 4v5 actually. Team Synchronized would have done very well to pick up a kill there. Abe, however, was in the top lane pushing, and we do see no damage yet going down on that top turret, but pushing definitely more likely later onto the game. And Team Synchronized, as we've already said, going for that very easy second dragon of the game, further extending their gold lead to, actually, it's pretty much the same as it was.
Yeah, I mean, Burqa United did just pick up a kill. So,
This is true.
Yeah, that's a bit of a goal over to them. It's good, always nice to have some gold, but they're still behind in the larger scale as Posei Magnet picks himself up his own blue buff. Gonna walk around with that with some more CDR and mana regeneration. And now that stands. The laning phase has ended by now. The Team Synchronized, they need to gather for a strong push that will bring them victory in this game, or bring this to game 3 if Burqa United makes the right moves and manages to turn this game around into their favor.
But Pash,
Yes,
do you know what time it is?
time to take over the world.
No, it's Scary Vayne o'clock. She has the Phantom Dancer, she has the Blade of the Ruin King, she's going to start wrecking face.
And DWT is going to go down here in this bottom lane, as Mod and Keymix are quick to gank her.
Wise pickup. We actually do see the double Sunfire Cape picked up by Keymix, who also has gone for the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, which is very interesting. Most Jarvans tend to
Johansson feels like
prefer
an
to go for
aggressive
Rage
here.
Golem.
Ape flashing away over the wall, but directly into a Posei Magnet. That's going to be a kill over to Sarchon, who picks it up. with a solar flare.
Meanwhile, the members of Team Syncronised are trying to push down this middle inner. It is currently a 4v4, and there's no AD carry present for Burqa United. He has just respawned, however, which means that engagement would be
The hook
implied.
lands onto Sarchon, as Sarchon lands the Zenith Blade onto Thresh. And the Mega Inferno Bomb will be enough to take down Leona. So that's a kill over to Ziggs. It continues to be a 4v4, though, as DWT has just respawned. Now the AD carry is there, but the middle inner turret will go down as Syncronised continues their push. Maybe looking for an inhibitor turret here as well. Will they be able to pull this one off? Lots of poke damage coming out of Ziggs. It's gonna be able to poke down Team Burqa United a lot, and that's the strength of having a Ziggs in your team. You have unlimited sieging power.
Yeah, the fact is that at 24 minutes, Ost has that Rabbit in the death cap, and of course has that second needlessly large rod, most likely going to go towards that Zhonya's hourglass, meaning that engagements towards him won't be as effective. Oh, we do actually see the hook landing onto
Hook lands onto DWT. Thresh goes in, uses the box, dealing to deal as much damage as possible, but there the re-engagement follows as opposed by Mac that takes down Oz. Vayne in the meanwhile able to take down Lysander, now onto DWT as well as Ape picks up the kill. Ape now getting aggressed upon here by the Renekton and goes in pretty deep after having picked up a double kill, but Vayne in the meanwhile just takes down Leona. Is left alone pretty much, and here's a pause in the middle of the fight, ladies and gentlemen.
And somebody disconnected. Team Hicks.
What a convenient time.
Disconnected.
What a convenient time to disconnect.
Ah.
Yeah,
It was almost noticeable. He was tanking the tower, just stood there, and that's something you never want to do. There we go. There's the disconnect.
Yeah, there he goes. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. So, how do you think this fight will go? Right now, it's a 4-for-1 in favor of Team Syncronised, but Johansson the Pose is still alive, and maybe he can deal some damage. I mean, all members of Team Synchronized are very low, and Johansson is a tanky crocodile.
Very true. While you go off on a little bit of a tangent, I'm going to look over the gold scores. We actually see Abe picking up a considerable advantage over Johansson at this point in the game. It's only 1,000, but that's quite significant considering how passive the top lane was. We see Abe is 3-3-3, whereas Johansson is 1-1-4. So Abe's picked up a lot more kills. Still has less CS though, but has managed to accumulate for himself that 1,000 gold advantage. Biggest difference though is probably the 2,000 gold advantage currently held by Ost in that middle lane on the Ziggs. 10,000 to 8,000. Despite the fact he has less kills than Posei Magnet, he has 215 CS. He has 60 more CS than his lane opponent. And that's very impressive at this stage, considering we're only 25 minutes in. Very, very strong. And of course he does have 5 kills and 9 assists, stacking up to a very, very nice, and in the case of Burqa United, very, very nasty amount right there. Vayne hitting that scary point, as I've said, has that Blade of the Ruin King, has that Phantom Dancer, is still alive, but is not currently in this fight. Oh, actually, wait, yes he is. He's on full health, stood right next to the turret.
Well, that's good. Chemix is tanking it for him just before he disconnected, so that's going to keep him safe. Now the question is, looking at this situation right here, could this be the game, actually? Because the inhibitor turret is going quite low. There's still over 20 seconds on all the respawn timers, but we have already pointed out, Team Synchronized is pretty low on health at this point in the fight. So, do you think they will actually be able to pick up the game here? Because it's going to be the ace. I mean, let's not lie to ourselves. It's probably going to be the ace. As Chemix and Abe are way outside of Johansson's reach, and there is a bloodthirsty Vayne right next to him. It's going to be the ace, but will Team Synchronized be able to pick up the win here? What do you think?
I very much doubt it. As you said, 3 of the 4 currently alive members of Team Synchronized are incredibly low on health. They can possibly take the inhibitor, but I doubt there's going to be any Baron attempts or attempts to finish the game at this stage. 25 seconds is not enough when you're that low on health to be looking over your shoulder constantly as you try and finish out a game.
Yeah, that is true indeed. On the other hand, if it does go wrong, they still have all the turrets of the world to keep Burqa United away from their own nexus. well, they are currently pushing through through their own inhibitor, so we're going to see. The turret will surely go down. Question is, will,
A summoner has
first of
been
all, the inhibitor
connected.
go down, and will Synchronized do anything about that? Now, I need to get back into my play-by-play mood, as Jarvan has just reconnected, and the fight should be continuing fairly soon. Hopefully.
Definitely. We see the readies coming out.
Oh, there we
we
go.
hear the
Okay,
yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Johan's in the post here in the middle of Imp and Mod. Rumbled around, actually does a lot of damage onto him. He manages to take down the Jarvan, and look at that. It's a triple kill for Vayne. Gets taken down by the turrets. It's a double kill for Renekton here as well. Mod and Abe, the only survivors of that fight. And, wow. Nicely done, Johan. He took down 2. It looks like it won't even be enough for the inhibitor turret. Well, it will be enough for the inhibitor turret if they just tank through it. But no inhibitor picked up.
Had him survived, that would have definitely been the inhibitor. But well played by Johansson. He picked up that kill and
Mikkel RP.
saved an inhibitor for his team.
Mikkel RP and Posei Magner are now going aggressive here onto Abe, who quickly takes the Lantern to safety.
Very good play by Mod, seeing his teammate in danger. Lobs the Dark Passage over the wall, and in comes a general. That must be quite scary for even a Thresh to see. Just imagine that, just a massive hulk of Malphite coming over the wall as he's taking your lantern.
Yeah, you better dodge. Or you're not going to have a good day. And
Burqa United actually going for the Baron at
That's
this point.
true. Burqa United start out the Baron Synchronized in no position to defend this one. Thresh and Malphite still back in base. They decide to turn the aggression onto Ost as he shows his face. But look at that, the Hextech Minefield is almost enough to take down Mikkel RP. That was
It
probably a very, very, very bad call that Burqa United just made.
Mikkel RP running straight through that explosive minefield, and he's not got that much magic resist at this point. 132 is his armor. He only has 62 magic resist. So, with Ost present, he's just going to completely melt. Ost hasn't even finished his magic penetration item, but he's still absolutely melting face at this point. And now we see the turnaround Synchronized going for that Baron, and it's getting melted down very quickly indeed. DWT could try a steal with the Super Mega Death Rocket, but it'd be very, very hit and miss.
No, I actually managed to steal. Oh, that was close. I actually managed to steal one with the Zenith Blade, though. Now that Sarkon comes in, that came to mind. But he's getting aggressed upon here. Will go down, tries to Zenith Blade himself away to Keemix and try and get over that wall. But DWT gets taken down by him. In the meanwhile, they're now onto Mikkel RP, who will go down here as well. They pick up 3 kills and a Baron. And now they have full reign over this middle inhibitor. They're just going to rotate right there. Take down a Posei Magnet while they're in the vicinity anyway. Might as well do that. And then pick up the inhibitor. And now they might as well do some damage onto these Nexus turrets.
Yeah, there are no minions currently there, but if Abe tanks it up, then they should be able to tank straight through a lot of damage. Keemix is actually tanking one of the turrets, but that's going to go down. And now Abe's tanking up. He has so much health at this point that he can just tank straight through it. Keemix is very low, but we do see the members respawning as the fight goes down.
And there we go. The fight does indeed happen. Johansson in the keeping Abe at bay, but Glitter RP in the middle of Team Synchronized. Nexus turrets are down. Nexus getting chunked down here as well. DWT gets hooked right there as he is in the air. They're going to go onto Posei Magnet as well, who displaces himself in the middle of Synchronized. Uses the Frozen Tomb. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Team Synchronized picking up the win here in the EGL Summoner's Shield number 19 Grand Finals. They will leave with 3,200 RP and a triumphant Rice skin for themselves. Burqa United taking an honored second place in our tournament. Good game, well played, definitely.
Definitely, indeed. That last game, the gold lead is actually not the important numbers to look at. 7-0 was the turret advantage. Not a single turret fell for Team Synchronized throughout that game. I'm not really sure what's to blame there, but because the pushing was not really there, I would say, for Burqa United. They never actually got an opportunity to group up and push. So I've actually just answered my own question. Burqa United weren't able to group up and push because they were forced to follow Team Synchronized across the map. When you've got that much control over a game, then that is very, very good, especially when Team Synchronized already had that advantage early on from that first win.
That first one indeed. So they sweep the series 2-0, showing that they are indeed synchronized enough to pull off a win. And it wouldn't be a Team Synchronized cast if we didn't make that joke, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
Very true.
this has been it. It's been an awesome day. Loads and loads of great games. And next week we're going to be back with our EGL League of Legends Championship Summoners Cup number 20. It's going to be the double X in Latin numbers. If you want to sign up for that, check out the link at the bottom of your screen. It's going to be our any rank tournament, so even if you're a challenger or even in the LCS, feel free to sign up. It's going out to all those pros that are currently watching. As for us, I have been the Pash. This has been Elthazar, and we actually got a request from someone who wants us to do an interview with him. So I suppose we're going to have a winner interview after a short break. We'll be right back.